On today's show, Kirby Smart chimes in on the Nick Saban-Jimbo Fisher feud. Miami boosters fire back at Saban. The SEC baseball tournament is set this week in Hoover. We'll recap the end of the regular season on the diamond. And it was a bloodbath for the SEC in the softball regionals. 12 teams entered, only 3 come out. Locked On SEC starts right now.
Are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is happening, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. Great to have you guys along. I'm Chris Gordy. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On SEC is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube and at LockedOnSEC.com. Let's jump into it. Let's go around the conference.
Boots out to the right. Takes the handoff. What a catch!
Around the conference.
And we start with Kirby Smart. All the drama recently with Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher openly complaining about NIL and each other and all that. Kirby Smart, he's sitting happy, fat and happy off his first national championship at Georgia. But he does have some concerns about all the new issues that new college football coaches are facing these days. On the Paul Feinbaum show a couple days ago, Kirby Smart said, "The world we live in college football is changing so fast. I'm hoping there are some guide rails put in to help college coaches who love the game and enjoy it. Right now, you're chasing your own players, you're chasing players that are in the portal, and then you're chasing recruits. So you're getting pulled in a lot of directions. There's a lot of demands. It's 24/7 all the time. I got in this game because I like the relationships and coaching, not the chasing." Many have called on NCAA or Congress to force some rules when it comes to name, image, and likeness, but so far, nothing really has happened. So I think you're going to continue to have little tiffs where Nick Saban calls out Jimbo Fisher publicly. Jimbo Fisher calls a press conference to take shots back at him. Crazy, crazy stuff. Now, speaking of Nick Saban, a Miami booster is throwing arrows in his direction. Miami booster John Ruiz spoke to the Miami Herald a couple days ago and said he was shocked that somebody in the business for such a long time and on top of his game like Nick Saban, and he was shocked that he was, quote, totally clueless of what all this means. He basically said, "I'm losing my market dominance because of everything that is going on," and then starts throwing everybody under the bus. Ruiz went on to say this was a very, very poor display of judgment and character. It felt like a little teenager whining about why previously they had free reign, and all of a sudden, when you level the playing field, it changes. It was very ugly of him. It's totally inappropriate the way he conducted himself and handled everything. More egregious is the very statements he made contained multiple NCAA violations of how he is involved in the process of the collectives and speaking to the kids about it and getting the kids involved. He was asking for collectives to be formed and provide payments to players because they would be at a disadvantage competitively. That is not what the NIL laws are designed to accomplish. So Saban opening up a box all over the country with people sounding off, letting their voice be heard on what they think is the future of NIL, and can it be used in recruiting? Can it not? Can it be used with a booster through collectives? And it's this it's a sticky territory, and all I know is this: everybody is counting down the days till we see Texas A&M and Alabama on the playing field because there will be no love lost between those two teams. I mean, can we get like a camera just on the field the whole time for pregame handshake? Man, that is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. In recruiting, speaking of recruiting news, Arch Manning, one of the top recruits in all the country, top quarterback recruit for 2023. He is going to another one of his top schools for a visit. Manning is going to visit the Texas Longhorns June 17th through the 19th. Outside of that, Manning's also very high on Alabama and Georgia, according to 24/7 Sports. The quarterback is also scheduled to visit with Florida later this summer as well. We know Ole Miss has kind of been on his radar at times. LSU's name was thrown in there. But if Manning ends up going to Texas, that would be a huge addition to Steve Sarkisian's 2023 class. Texas currently has 4 4-star commits and 1 3-star commit in that class. So we'll see. Still a long way to go, but some people thinking Arch Manning could make an announcement towards the end of this summer. We will see. And some other SEC news. Joseph Evans, former LSU defensive lineman who entered the transfer portal a month ago, has announced his new team. He announced on social media he is heading to UTSA. So San Antonio is where he will be heading. He tweeted out, "Let's get to work." In 3 seasons at LSU, Evans appeared in 13 games. He's a 3-star member of LSU's 2019 recruiting class. In other recruiting news, an offensive lineman for the class of 2023 made cuts to his list, and he's got 3 SEC schools still in the mix. Chase Basantes, a 4-star offensive tackle out of the state of New Jersey, one of the top tackles in this class. He revealed his top 5, and it includes Michigan State, Rutgers, and then Texas A&M, LSU, and Georgia out of the SEC. 6'5", 290 pounds. He's the number 5 offensive tackle in the nation, number 58 overall prospect for 2023, and he's the top player out of the state of New Jersey. So we will see where he ends up, but 3 SEC schools in the mix with really good chances there. Well, SEC basketball note, Josiah Jordan-James is going to reportedly return for his senior season at Tennessee. Big boost for Rick Barnes and his squad. CBS Sports reported he will withdraw his name from the NBA draft and return to Tennessee. James appeared in 32 games, made 30 starts last season, was Tennessee's 3rd leading scorer. He was one of 3 Tennessee players to average double figures, averaging 10 points, and led the Vols in rebounding at 6 rebounds per game. 3 seasons in Knoxville there. So Josiah Jordan-James coming back to the Vols. Big get for them. Quick SEC baseball note. We'll get some more in just a little bit, but Todd Helton now has some company at the top of Tennessee's all-time record books. He's held the Vols' all-time record for home runs since 1995. He hit 38 during his time in Knoxville from 1993 to 95. Well, his home run record has some company. Evan Russell tied that mark with his 38th career home run on Saturday afternoon. Tied the mark with his 13th home run of the season in the 5th inning against Mississippi State. Vols have been a juggernaut all season, crushing home runs, big-time power numbers. We're going to talk with our buddy Eric Kane later in this week, host of Locked On Vols, get his thoughts on this Tennessee Vol baseball team and what their chances are of winning it all. And there you have it. That is the latest news going on around the conference. When we return, we're going to dive into some SEC baseball as well as some SEC softball. What are the chances of the SEC winning it in softball? We only got 3 teams left. It was a bloodbath of a weekend. And then, of course, the SEC tournament getting started in Hoover. We'll break it down for you, tell you what the bracket shapes up to be this week. Look, need to remind you guys, we love brownies here, but the only thing we love more than brownies is brownie batter. That's why you need to check out the new Built Bar flavor, the Brownie Batter Puffs. It is a new creation, and this one is better than ever. It is the Brownie Batter Puff. Takes protein bars to a whole new level, and they are available right now at Built.com. If you haven't tried Built Puffs yet, not sure what you're waiting for. Puffs are a chocolate-covered marshmallow protein bar, delicious flavored marshmallow covered in 100% real chocolate, 140 calories, 17 grams of protein packed in there, only 7 grams of sugar. They are the perfect pick-me-up for any day. They're made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides tons of health benefits. Go check them out right now, Built.com. You can find the Brownie Batter Puffs right there. Add them to your cart. And when you go to hit checkout, make sure you use our promo code LOCKED15. LOCKED15, that's going to get you 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCKED15. Get 15% off at Built.com. I roll along here, Locked On SEC. Man, it was a busy weekend of putting a cap on the SEC baseball season. So figure we'd run through and just give you a quick recap of what happened this weekend and then set the stage for the SEC tournament in Hoover. LSU swept a 3-game set at Vanderbilt for the first time in program history. It was a crazy Game 3 on Saturday as LSU went on to win 21-10. Braden Jobert drove in 9 RBIs in that game. Unbelievable for LSU. Last weekend they get swept at home against Ole Miss. This weekend they go on the road and sweep Vanderbilt in Nashville, something they've never done before. Craziness. Alabama, they routed Arkansas with an 18-run outburst in the regular season finale, winning 18-5 to win the series. Bryce Eblin drove in 5 in that game, so congrats to Alabama. That was certainly a big series win for them over Arkansas. Texas A&M, my goodness, what has Jim Schlossnagle put in the water down there in College Station? They were considered a team that was supposed to be dead last or near the bottom in the SEC this year. They took 2 out of 3 against Ole Miss. Aggies 17-5 in their last 22 games. And unbelievable. We'll get to the seeding here in a second, but unbelievable that they jumped up to the number 2 seed in the SEC tournament. Mizzou, they took 2 out of 3 against Georgia. Tough finish to the season for a good Georgia team. Tennessee, they swept Mississippi State to finish off their historic season, so they keep rolling. What happened to Mississippi State, by the way? Goodness gracious, the reigning champs. Just problems left and right all season long. Florida, they took 2 out of 3 against South Carolina. 4 SEC series wins for the Gators to end the season. That's quite a good streak for them. Kentucky, they took 2 out of 3 against Auburn. What a rough final weekend for a really good Auburn team. So the SEC baseball tournament is, the bracket is set. And reigning national champion Mississippi State failed to qualify, as did Missouri. That's just, had you told me that back at the start of the baseball season, said, hey, by the way, Mississippi State, yeah, they just won the national championship. Yeah, they're not going to be in the postseason, or they're not even going to Hoover. I said, what? The other 12 teams, so no Mississippi State, no Mizzou, but the other 12 teams will head to Hoover to compete for a conference title. Games start on Tuesday. So here are the game times and TV listings. So on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 Eastern, we'll have the first game. It'll be number 6 seed Georgia versus number 11 seed Alabama. That should be a really good one. 2 pretty good teams in Georgia and Alabama. Game 2, which will follow, will be number 7 seed Florida versus number 10 seed South Carolina. That should be a good one as well. Game 3 is slated for a 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. All these games on the SEC network, by the way. It'll be number 8 seed Vanderbilt versus number 9 seed Ole Miss. Gosh, again, the start of the season, I would have said that's probably your 1 seed versus 2 seed, or 2 seed 3 seed versus 4 seed, something like that. 8 and 9, Vandy and Ole Miss. Craziness. And then the game 4, the nightcap on Tuesday, will be number 5 Auburn versus number 12 seed Kentucky. So that is your day 1. And then on Wednesday, you will have the top seeds. Tennessee, your top seed, number 1. Texas A&M, your 2 seed. Still just crazy to say that. Congrats to the Aggies and congrats to Jim Schlossnagle. What a first year in the SEC for him. Number 3 seed is Arkansas. Number 4 seed is LSU. So that they will all be in action for the double elimination round. Arkansas will play host to the winner of game 1. They'll play the winner of Georgia, Alabama. That'll be same thing, 9:30 Central on Wednesday morning. Following that one will be the 2 seed A&M versus the winner of Florida and South Carolina. And then later in the day on Wednesday, it'll be 1 seed Tennessee at 4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. They'll play the winner of Vanderbilt, Ole Miss. And then on the nightcap on Wednesday, it'll be LSU taking on the winner of Auburn and Kentucky. So, stage is set. And then, of course, you'll go into the losers brackets on Thursday. Winners will advance to, of course, play on Friday. And then we'll have on Saturday our semifinals. And then Sunday, 2 p.m. Central, we will crown a champion. That game will be on ESPN2 Sunday afternoon. So, SEC tournament, always fun to watch. And we got some really, I'm telling you, like, would not shock me if one of these lower seeds jumps up, goes on a run, and wins this whole thing, because it has been a weird year of a lot of parity in the SEC when it comes to SEC baseball. And look no further than the 2-seeded Texas A&M Aggies. Crazy, the season that they had, and the season that we had as a whole for SEC baseball. But going to be a lot of fun. All right, coming up next, we're going to break down a little bit of the softball craziness that happened over the weekend. My goodness, it was a bloodbath. That's coming up in just a second. But this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto, with the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models now possible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts that you need. You have computers with access to rockauto.com at home and in your pocket. Save time and money when you use Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30%, 50%, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or car dealership? Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Prices are reliably low for every customer. They got everything you need, from tail lamps, motor oil, new carpet, whatever it is, you can go find it at rockauto.com. But go explore their easy-to-use website today. Find the solution for your auto parts needs. Go type in wiper blades, Kia, whatever, 2010, whatever your car make and model is, type it in. You can find all the parts available for your car or truck. And make sure when you go to rockauto.com, see all the parts available for your car or truck, and make sure you write "Locked On" in their "How did you hear about us" box, so that they know that we sent you. It's an amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. Visit rockauto.com. Going along here, Locked On SEC, and it was a fun Sunday of just watching all the softball action, streaming on the ESPN app and bounce around on the channels. It's also fun to watch a little of the golf. Shout out to Alabama alum Justin Thomas, capturing his second PGA championship after a 7-shot comeback on Sunday that went to a 3-hole playoff, and he won the PGA championship. So shout out to Justin Thomas. But man, it was a nutso weekend for SEC softball. And look, there were tons of SEC teams in action, and 12 of the 13 SEC teams that play softball, keep in mind Vandy doesn't play, but 12 of the 13 teams made it, and 12 teams entered, 3 come out. The headline shocker of the weekend, we'll hit on all the losers first. The Alabama Crimson Tide, they were ousted in their own regional by Stanford. Alabama found themselves on the elimination side of the regional, won the early game on Sunday versus Stanford 4-0, but they lost the second one 6-0. And Montana Fouts, who's been outstanding all season long, she threw over 200 pitches on the weekend, and it caught up with her. She gave up 6 runs off 10 hits. And Alabama was sent home, ending their season. A streak of winning every NCAA regional title since 2005 came to an end for the Crimson Tide, whose bats went cold on a steamy afternoon at Rhodes Stadium on Sunday. So Alabama out. That was one of the big shockers of the weekend. Some of the other ones from the weekend: Texas A&M, they had the tough challenge of taking on Oklahoma in the Norman Oklahoma Regional. The Aggies, they got beat up on Sunday 20-0 in just 5 innings versus the number 1 overall seed. Oklahoma is just a machine. They sent the Aggies home. LSU, they got sent home early for the first time in 6 seasons as they lost in the Tempe Regional, losing to Cal State Fullerton on Saturday 3-2 as they were eliminated, and LSU's season came to an end. Auburn, their season came to an end, losing to Louisiana 4-3 in their elimination game out in the Clemson Regional. Kentucky's season came to an end, losing to Virginia Tech 5-4 in the Blacksburg Regional. They lost earlier in the day to the Hokies 9-2. So Kentucky season's over. Missouri, they could not protect home field as they lost to Arizona on Sunday 1-0. Couldn't find any offense. That's went cold. They were eliminated. Ole Miss, they were eliminated out in the Los Angeles Regional. They lost to UCLA 9-1 in 5 innings on Sunday afternoon. Tennessee, another shocker. They lose to another orange team. Oregon State beats them 3-1 in an elimination game out in Knoxville. The Vols sent home early, and then Georgia. They were tied with Duke Sunday afternoon, 5-5 in the fifth inning before the wheels came off. Duke put up 6 runs in that inning, scored a couple more in the next one, and run ruled them. Georgia went on to be eliminated in the Durham Regional. So that was just nuts. So many SEC teams sent backing. So let's discuss the good side. There were some good. 14th ranked Florida Gators softball team. They made it a point to get off the field early on Sunday afternoon. They were paced by a 10-run opening inning. The Gators sprinted past the visiting Wisconsin Badgers 11-0 in 5 innings to win the Gainesville Regional and secure their spot in a Super Regional next weekend. They will travel to Blacksburg to face Virginia Tech, who beat Kentucky on Sunday. So Florida, they're heading to the Super Regional, but they're going on the road. They're going to go up to Virginia Tech. Mississippi State, Bulldogs upset number 2 overall seed Florida State twice on the Seminoles' home field, winning the Tallahassee Regional and advancing to the Super Regional round for the first time ever. So congrats to the Bulldogs. Mississippi State, they will not only play in a Super Regional, but they will host it. The Bulldogs, who's the regional's number 2 seed, they are seeded higher than opposing Arizona, who's a 3 seed. So the Wildcats, they beat number 15 overall seed Missouri to win the Columbia Regional on Sunday. So Mississippi State will play host to Arizona. Shout out to Starkville. That is a fine accomplishment for them. And then the team has just been in fuego down the stretch of the season. The Arkansas Razorback softball team, they beat Oregon 9-3 to win the Fayetteville region. 4 Razorbacks hit home runs in their game on Sunday. So the historic season for Arkansas continues as the team won both the SEC regular season and tournament titles. That's a first in the program. And as of this recording, Texas and Washington were still playing. So Arkansas will host the winner of that series. So I was rooting for Texas, but last I saw, Washington had a lead. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that one. But congrats to the 3 teams from the SEC that are advancing in softball to the Super Regional. But, man, I can't remember a time where the SEC got ousted that badly. 12 teams coming into the weekend and only 3 advance. The ACC and Pac-12 just seem to have the SEC's number this weekend. They beat up on them. Let's hope that never happens again. Let's hope that doesn't happen in any other sport. And there you have it. You're all caught up with all the latest from the weekend in the SEC. That is going to do it for this edition of Locked On SEC. I am Chris Gordy. Thank you guys so much for making us your first listen every day. Remember, you can go make your second listen. Check out some of our other great podcasts on the Locked On Podcast Network, like Locked On Bulldogs, Locked On Kentucky, Locked On Razorbacks. Tons of great ones to choose from. Wherever you find your podcast, just search your favorite SEC school and you'll find your podcast. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you a little bit later in the week. We're going to have a conversation with our buddy Eric Kane, host of Locked On Vols, get some thoughts on the Tennessee Volunteers, who didn't play a spring game, so we didn't get to see them much from the spring, but we'll get first-hand account from Eric Kane on what to expect from the Vols and Josh Heupel heading into year 2. I'm Chris Gordy. You guys have a great day. Talk to you guys later in the week.